Hello everyone, welcome here to the quarterfinals of Legacy Masters 2018. My name's Stephen Stamopoulos. I'm here with Sean Brown.
I'm Sean Brown.
It's the quarterfinals. On our right, Melbourne boy Jesse Dent playing 61 card Maverick. Our hero. On the left, representing CBR MTG, Jacob Dunn.
Playing Sneak and Show. So Jacob is the top seed.
Top seed.
Jesse the 8th after IDing the last 2 rounds. We see that
He's got a Forcer wheel. That's all I saw. I saw a Forcer wheel.
Has a turn 1? No? I don't know what he's trying to show us, but if he has a show and tell, we're going to see turn 1.
Is that a Knight of the Reliquary on the very left of Jesse's hand?
I would like to hope so. So what do we think about this matchup? What's going to happen in this matchup?
Well, I think Jacob's going to try and put a big scary monster into play as soon as possible, and Jesse's going to try and constrain his mana. So Maverick is very much a hate bears deck. Plays things like Thalia, Gaddock Teague, Castelli Pride Mage, Mother of Runes. Gaddock Teague not great in this matchup, but it certainly will turn off Forcer Wheels.
It turns off Sneak Attack as well.
But it does, exactly. So there you go, a relevant card. But Knight of the Reliquary, as we all know, is a fantastic card, able to search through your deck. And it can find what, Sean?
It can find Caracas. So this is going to line up particularly well with what Jacob's hand is at the moment. So Jacob is leaning on an Emrakul style kill, and this is the kind of kill that Sneak and Show are weakest to against these Caracas decks. Because if they put Gristlebrand in, you can Caracas it, but they'll still draw a pile of cards and probably kill you next turn with Sneak Attack or something like that. But since Emrakul seems to be the avenue of victory for Jacob, we'll see. Maybe he is aware of the interaction with Knight of the Reliquary and will play a bit more cautiously.
I think Jacob's an old hand at Eternal format, so he'll definitely be ready.
Yes, quite an experienced player from what I remember. He's played a lot of decks in the past, actually. I've seen him play like Sneak and Show. I've seen him play Nick Fit.
I've seen him play Waterfalls. The old Cascade deck.
Cascade deck, so I think Jesse doesn't have much going on. He's going to go for a turn 2 Thalia, I think is the main thing that he'll be looking at. So that will certainly start the constraint of mana.
I'm sure they'll get a Force Wheel unless Jacob wants to shuffle it away. So Jacob started off with a very typical Legacy fetch into Ponder.
Yeah.
It's now
we might
Ancient
see a show
Tomb.
and tell here.
So Lotus Petal.
Yep.
That's up to 4 mana.
So it looks like his
show and tell.
All right.
So what's coming into play? There is a Knight of the
There's
Reliquary.
a Knight of the Reliquary. So here, this is exactly where Jesse wants to be, because he's going to be able to fetch up a Caracas and get that Emrakul off the table. And notice this is completely uncounterable as well.
It's thanks to Jacob that the Knight's in.
Yes, it's thanks to Jacob that the Knight's in.
It's a very balanced card because you both get to put in. You can both put in creatures or permanents, I guess, just not planeswalkers. So a Wasteland from Jesse takes
out the Ancient Tomb.
And now we're going to go see a Caracas, leaving Jacob with not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, that Knight's up to a... So we're going to fetch
and get the Caracas.
That's now a 5/5 Knight. So all he needs to do is be able to hold off for just a little bit longer.
Yep.
And get the job done.
So Jesse could really steal this game 1. Like this is exactly what we needed for Jesse Dent to take away the first game. Show and tell, Emrakul being the exact card rather than Gristlebrand, and Knight of the Reliquary saving the day.
I think that's a good point to make, Sean. If it was Gristlebrand, Jacob would have drawn 7 cards and be able to go off again next turn through a variety of ways.
And I think Sneak Attack, because Sneak Attack would be the primary issue in that situation. But yeah, so we see Caracas is up and ready. So Jesse's in really good shape here. Next turn we might see a Thalia as well to really constrain Jacob's mana further. Him thinking about a Brainstorm.
Would you play a Thalia and risk tapping down the Caracas?
That's a good question. That's a good. I think I would actually.
I think because you can't unless he sneak attacks and you're in trouble anyway.
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to see a bit of cantripping now.
Yeah.
So a preordain from Jacob hits 1 and 2.
Nothing much there.
Force Wheel and
a Lotus Petal.
Yep.
So I think Jacob's really looking for a Sneak Attack now.
Finds another Lotus Petal,
which is a bit worrying. All right, so he's burning a Lotus Petal for a Brainstorm. Looks like he's actually really struggling for lands.
Simian Spirit Guide, Grizzlebrand,
and
Polluted Delta. So he can put the trash away and shuffle it up.
So it looks like, I imagine he's putting the Emrakul away, because Emrakul looks pretty embarrassing in front of the Caracas.
Yep.
Spirit Guide could be helpful, but yeah, he's really looking for a Sneak Attack. And I think if Jesse can... Well, he'll keep the Force of Will, I imagine. So if Jesse slams the Thalia and has Force of Will...
We'll see if Jacob plays out his... he's thinking about putting away the Force of Will. Okay.
I could see that. I think that's very reasonable.
So if Jacob plays out his Lotus Petals here, he'll sneak under the Thalia, but if he doesn't, he'll be punished for doing so.
Yeah.
This is actually an interesting game.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of ins, a lot of outs.
Yeah, after the knight came into play. As I said, I think things could be very, very different if there was a Gristlebrand.
Who would win, a lovely lady on a horseback or a big demon monster?
Knight on a horseback in this... not in this card. She's like walking out of the reliquary tower or something.
I don't know. In my mind, Knight of the Reliquary is
a very beautiful lady.
Yeah, she's a beautiful
she's
lady.
a beautiful lady.
She bounces Emrakul's for us.
Yeah, saves the day. All right.
So Jacob doesn't play the Lotus Petals. Let's see how it pans out.
Yeah. So let's just see what happens here. I think I would like to see Dent just slam that Thalia, and that's what he's doing. I love it. Really, just
going for it.
Going for it. All right, so
Jacob's going to brainstorm in response, probably hit the Thalia, unless you shuffled it away. It's a show and tell, Emrakul and a City of Traders, so no help there.
Yeah, I think there's...
Is there a Grizzlebrand?
So he would be able to put the Gristlebrand into play, but it will get bounced immediately afterwards. And his life total will be incredibly low.
That knight's already at 5, so if he draws... And there's a Wasteland in hand, so Jesse could even Wasteland himself if he really wanted to. Let's see how this works.
So, is there a Gristlebrand in Jacob's hand, though? I can't
I thought he saw one.
I thought he... Did he shuffle it away with the Polluted Delta?
I'd be very surprised if he did.
Alright, I think...
So, plays a land.
Plays a Lotus Petal.
Oh, sorry, taps the land for the Lotus Petal. Thalia attacks. I wonder if he's trying to... No, that's an Omniscience, is it?
No, he does not have Omniscience in his main deck. So I think he's shuffled away the Gristlebrand.
Wasteland.
Dent with the Wasteland. Also making his knight a bigger creature. Slams in.
So that's a 6 and 8.
So two turn clock. So next turn.
There's absolutely no bias, of course, in our commentating. So I hard cast him in Spirit Guide.
Source of Plowshares.
And
Jesse Dent steals it thanks to Knight of the Reliquary. My God. So I think that really was what Jesse needed to take this game. Take the match, actually. Yeah. He needed to break serve when he was on the draw.
Absolutely.
And he was exactly able to do that thanks to the beautiful lady on the horseback.
Who may or may not actually be on a horseback.
She is on the promo art.
Okay,
on the horse.
That's the one I have, yeah.
Anyway, let's get to the sideboarding. So I'll just quickly talk about Jacob's list. So a very, very straightforward sneak and show list. It's all about really the turn 1 show and tell. He even has the additional Simian Spirit Guides in addition to his Lotus Petals to just jam as fast as possible. So in the sideboard, we see Blood Moon, Through the Breach, Surgical Extraction, so 2 of each, 2 Pyroblast, Sudden Shock, Bifrost, 2 Omniscience, 2 more Blood Moon, and one plus time.
Maybe that's a typo.
I think that's a typo.
So he's got essentially bi-laser sideboarding. So but he does have the Omniscience in the sideboard, I assume for matches like this.
So I imagine actually he's going to cut some of this random acceleration, like the Spirit Guides and so on. He's going to bring in Blood Moon for Caracas, of course. And he's going to bring in those Sudden Shocks, and I don't think he'll want the Bi-Forces, really.
No.
There's not many.
You need to keep the board clear to combo off, not worry about.
And he'll definitely want Omniscience as well, which is always what you want against these Caracas style decks.
So he's looking at his sideboard, and he's bringing the Sudden Shock, bringing the Through the Breach. Omniscience looks like it's staying on...
I think he might be thinking about the Through the Breach. I think you definitely want the Blood Moons. I think you definitely want the Omnisciences. Yeah, so he's bringing the Blood Moons and Omnisciences. I like that. Pretty clean sideboarding.
We'll have a look at Jesse's sideboard. So we've got 1 Reclamation Sage, 2 Sanctum Prelate, 2 Chokes, 2 Abrupt Decay, 3 Zealous Persecution, 2 Surgical Extraction, and 3 Thought Seeds. I like the Thought Seeds, I like the Surgical Extraction. I like the Sanctum Prelate, and that's probably it. I don't think we can get much more. I mean,
Reclamation Stage is a consideration, but you already have Pride Mage. As your tutorable enchantment destruction of choice. I think, what are we cutting from Jesse's list? We're cutting all this random fair crap, right? Yeah. Tireless Tracker, Ramanap Excavator, Scrib Ranger.
Well, Ramanap Excavator, is there anything to blow up lands in the Sneak and Show decks?
No.
I think we cut, the first start is 4 Swords of Plowshares, they can go.
Yep.
So how many cards do we want to bring in? 2, 5, 7. Surgical I'm not sure on, but
I think Surgical is quite reasonable.
I think with discard it's absolutely warranted, so we want... Take out 4 Swords to Plowshares. Probably the Scrib Rangers, probably not for this. Although you can untap Wasteland, get Caracas, all that sort of stuff. Leave Old looks good. Tireless Tracker, I think you're right. We can cut that.
Yeah.
Mother Runes.
Well, I think since, he's bringing in Sudden Shock, so... But again, Jesse doesn't know. Usually expect a Braid or removal along those lines. Maybe even Pyroclasm, Kozilek's Return, which Mum is not good against, but...
I wonder if we want to cut the Stoneforge Mystic package. So we've got a new Umazawa's Jitte, sort of Light and Shadow, and a Fire and Ice.
I could see cutting the Light and Shadow and the Umazawa's Jitte, maybe just shrinking your Stoneforge package, trimming it up, is one way to kind of consider things. But I think there's a lot of cards, I think there's a lot of improvements to be made to Jesse's deck, with the Thought Seizers and things like that. But then again, I think Jacob in general has...
Oh yeah, Jacob is absolutely favoured.
Yeah, and now post board, I think now that he can lock out the Caracas, like he can't get punked out by that anymore, as we saw in the first game, because he'll be a bit more wary. He also has Blood Moon. I think now we'll see things change around a bit.
So it looks like Jesse's doing what we said. He's cutting some Stoneforges and Mother of the Runes, a sort of Light and Shadow.
So just a lot of trimming of the random one-offs in this 61 card Maverick.
It's important to note though, the top 8 of the Australian Eternal Weekend with 61 card Maverick.
61 card Maverick.
Could we be more biased, Sean? I don't think so.
Well, Sneak and Show does stuff. Puts creatures into play. Has won the last 2 Eternal Legacy Masters events.
Okay, so we've got confirmation.
Yep.
So
I think he's...
After post-sideboarding, Jesse has cut the Tireless Tracker, the Sword of Light and Shadow, the Umazawa's Jitte, the Scavenging Ooze,
the Sword of Fire and Ice,
2 Stoneforge Mystic, and a Mother of Runes.
Yeah, so he cut his Stoneforge package and random 3 drops that don't do much. Yeah.
I wonder why he didn't want to keep the Sword of Fire and Ice in, because that's a good way to speed up the clock and draw into further cards. Although he does have the Sylvan Library.
He does, yeah.
And it's also Jesse. I trust what he does with Maverick. He's been playing this for some time
I
now.
think also I don't mind him keeping in Swords to Plowshares, even though they can sometimes be dead cards. Gristlebrand, of course, is one of the main worries against the deck, and sometimes you just need a way to get that off the table.
Interesting. Jesse didn't bring in the Surgical Extractions.
Didn't bring in the Surgical Extractions. Well,
so he's brought in the Chokes.
He's brought in the Chokes.
He's brought in the Reclamation Sage.
I can see the Chokes. Chokes seem reasonable.
And he's obviously left out Zealous Persecutions and Abrupt Decays.
Yeah. So I would like to probably see the Surgicals and cutting a few other things. But then, of course, you don't want to become this deck that's very threat light.
No.
That's the main
you do
thing.
need to, despite being a disruptive hate bear sort of deck, you do need to put them out of their misery.
I would like to probably see cutting 2 Swords to Plowshares for the 2 Surgicals. I think I would really like that. But
yeah, interesting he hasn't cut them.
as I said, sometimes I know Death and Taxes master, Jack Jiggins, loves keeping in a Swords to Plowshares against Sneak and Show.
If you could see me shaking my head. Okay, but here's the thing, right? Emrakul, you can't touch because it has protection from instants and sorcery or spells or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And Grizzlebrand, if you Swords to Plowshare, they would just draw 7 for free.
Yeah.
And you want to beat draw 7?
Well, I think the logic
if you're
is
at high enough life, so you can draw 14, and you're definitely in trouble.
I think the logic is, though, sometimes you just want to get it off the table. And there are certain spots, especially if you're pressuring their life total, where you just want to get it gone. So, I don't know. It is what it is.
Look, I have faith in Jesse's ability to navigate this.
I have faith in Maverick. I have faith in the lady on the horse. I have faith in Jesse Dent. We should hashtag this.
Hashtag lady on the horse.
Faith in Jesse Dent.
Jesse Dent, a local law student here at Deakin University in Melbourne.
Yep.
I've got no idea what Jacob does. I'm sure he works in like IT or something.
Yeah.
I think that's right, actually. Okay, so post-board, Jacob's cut the Jason Mind Sculptor, 2 Flusterstorms, the Intuition... No, that can't be right.
Yep. So he's cut the Jace, 2 Flusterstorms, and Intuition, and I think he's brought in the 2 Blood Moons and 2 Omnisciences. He hasn't brought in the Through the Breach, which is kind of interesting.
He's cut a Lotus Petal too, and a Preordain.
All right, let's have a look at Jesse's hand. It looks a bit bleg. I don't think it looks very good. I didn't see many lands.
I think he's letting Jacob decide first.
Of course.
The old tech play.
The old tech play.
Have we had a look at Jacob's hand yet? Well, there is a Thalia and a Knight of the Reliquary. So,
yeah. But I think there's only a Dryad Arbor as a land. So, but I could be wrong.
I wonder if he just forced into keeping it, because what are the odds that 6 is going to have Hate Bear and on the draw too?
Yeah.
Hate Bear and Thalia.
Oh no, I think, is that a Marsh Flats or a Ramanov Excavator?
Please be Marsh Flats. Still not biased at all. Yeah. So confirmation that Jacob does work in IT. Nailed it.
All right, let's see. I think Jesse looks like he might be keeping this one.
No, I think it's a Verdant Catacombs on the left, the green black fetch.
Okay.
Because he does play 2.
No, it looks
No,
like
he's
I don't
mulliganing.
think. I think it was only a Dryad Arbor.
Yeah.
As the only card, only land.
A close hand, but still can't.
Yeah,
just
you
can't
won't.
keep it.
It's likely you won't be doing anything. I think it had Prelate, Thalia, and Knight, which is really good. But
With 3 more lands, it'd be a snap keep.
yeah, with one more land, that would be a
Yeah.
snap keep. You go Dryad Arbor turn 1, turn 2 Thalia, turn 3 Prelate, and hopefully you should be able to get there. So yeah.
But I guess Jesse being cognizant of the fact that Stink and Show is brutally efficient
Yes. And brutally fast.
and really powerful.
Brutally
So
fast and efficient.
it's just a brutal deck.
Brutal deck.
And ladies on horses do not like brutality.
Well, there's no collective brutality involved in,
And thank God for that. Alright, so let's have a look at Jesse's 6. I see a Deathrite Shaman, a Bayou.
This looks a bit more reasonable. So I think it's a bit more medium, but at least it has lands.
It's playable.
He'd like to scry for like a hate bear, but I think
Puts it on the bottom.
puts it on the bottom.
Notably absent from Jesse's Dent. Jesse's deck is a Containment Priest, which would be amazing.
Mighty minty here,
Yeah.
but
I think that's one of the main differences between Maverick and
yeah.
Death and
Well, you're a
Taxes.
Green Sun Zenith toolbox
Yeah.
deck, so you can't play your Containment Priest.
What a rip-off that Thalia isn't a Green Sun Zenithable card.
Yeah.
Every time I play Maverick, I just wish that Thalia could be Green Sun Zenith. You pass by when you're looking through what to search for.
Yeah, and
you're
you're
not
like-
really sure. And you're like, why can't you be it?
I mean, I guess Gaddock Tiggs is the closest Green Sun Zenith
Yeah.
true hate bear, but
Or Thalia Pride Mage off the top. So we see.
could be good against Omniscience.
So Death Rides, he's looking at forcing. I see Jacob's got a Blood Moon in hand, so maybe that's the
I
plan.
think that's the plan.
But with no lands in the bin just yet. Alright, so we see a Pyroclasm.
Oh, there is a Pyroclasm. All right, there you go. So I could
I
not.
suppose it hits like well, obviously it hits the X2s. Stunning commentary for me.
I couldn't see that in the deck list.
Interesting. So not in the deck list, but that's okay. I'm sure it's fine. Alright, so Mother Rune's picked up from Jesse. So we've got a
Mother
fetch
of Runes,
land.
Yeah. So he can deploy the Thalia and the Mother of Runes and get blown out by Pyroclasm. Is I think
Yeah.
what may end up happening.
Does Jacob have a third land on the left? On the very left of his hand? I think that's a third.
Yeah, it's
polluted
polluted delta.
Yeah.
So oh, this could be the good old Maverick losing to sweepers kind of game.
Yeah, blowout central.
Blowout
Population Jesse. And what is that basic planes, Jesse? My God, man.
Yeah, that's draft box basic planes. What isn't it? What's the acceptable basic planes?
Old border,
All right.
at least.
All right. Does it need to have the add white to your mana pool?
No.
I'm a big fan of those.
I am. I'm a big fan of them too, but I'll take anything in the old border.
But this is new border.
So it's double bad.
Yeah.
So Jesse not playing into the coming.
The coming sweeper. Yeah.
Although I do wonder if Jacob will be happier to just pirate Blood Moon and then
Pyroclasm.
Pyroclasm.
Well, he can't Blood Moon right now. Honestly, he kind of wants to get rid of the Thalia as soon as possible, right? So he can keep doing his thing.
Not a lot of action from Jesse's side though.
No.
Well, he does have a basic planes, so
Yeah, he will be.
if Jacob does try and Pyroclasm, Blood Moon, he'll just be able to cast Xyz Pride Mage and blow it up. I guess that's what Forcibles are good for.
Yeah. He doesn't have a basic green source though. Is I guess the issue, but yeah, Deathrite ideally would
Get him out of such precarious situations. So Jacob searches up basic.
why don't we shortcut? Legacy players.
I love watching people shuffle.
Legacy players.
All right, so we've got essentially got draft box basics from both sides.
No, Jacobs I think are selected a bit better. Like these ones are acceptable because
See, it's like it's pimp, but not really.
no,
It's
but
still-
at least I can appreciate someone who at least selected the art that they like, no matter the border.
I bet you Jesse loves that planes too.
Yeah, I bet you he does.
I mean, he's put it on his wall at home. I wonder if he actually took it out of the draft box here at Next Level Games in Dandenong. No, that's not a shill, by the way. So we're going to see Pyroclasm, which is not on the
everyone
deck
up.
list, but we're going to assume it's there.
Oh, Jesse gets a great draw, but his mana's a bit awkward. Oh no. So he has Prelate.
Wow, on 3 would be amazing.
Yeah. But
Unfortunately, the double white coming up.
yeah. Deathrite. Alright, so Deathrite, I mean, he's got his mana online. Blood
Yeah.
Moon's not an issue, but Show and Tell is. But I don't think Jacob has a fatty to put into play yet.
No, he hasn't really sculpted him.
There's Emrakul.
Well, it was nice. And a sneak attack.
attack.
Sure, why not?
All right. So even the prelate.
Well, it wasn't going to resolve through the force wheel
yeah,
anyway.
correct.
No Cavern of Souls in Jesse's list, which I like because it's 3 colours and you can't play colourless land. Anyway, so...
Could have a 60-second card.
Ooh, don't tell Jesse, he might actually do it. Alright, so... Jacob deciding what to put back on top of his land, on top of his library, although I think it's becoming a bit... inevitable, that's a word.
Yeah, I think especially now that he has sneak attack, he's not going to need to worry about blood mooning Jesse as much.
Yeah, so if he wants, he can show and tell in sneak attack.
Yeah.
And then fire off Emrakul. Although that's...
I think he has to do that next turn.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be next turn. Yeah.
No Phyrexian Revokers or Pithing Needles in Jesse's list. A card which really gives Death and Taxes the edge in these sort of matchups.
I mean, what we would ideally like to get in a situation of is him not being able to fire off the sneak attack.
Like both Gaddock Teague and Sanctum Prelate coming down at once?
No. I mean, like him not firing off the sneak attack and then this Kozali Pride Mage getting...
being able to come into play.
Yeah, getting work done. I think, though, the prelate will get cast and will get Force of Willed is what's going to happen here because Jacob doesn't know whether he's going to name 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And I think you don't take the risk there.
It's a hard spot, and that's why this matchup's so tough, despite how easy Jesse made game 1 look.
Yeah.
So we're going to see a prelate or prelate, but I'm assuming... So Jacob's going to have a read of it. He knows what this card does because I cast it against him 2 years ago.
So, it is immediately binding a Force of Will.
Yeah. So Force Pitch Brainstorm, Jacob down to 17.
Yeah.
And Jesse unable to pressure Jacob's life total so far this match.
Yeah.
Or game, rather.
So I think...
So an upkeep on fetch by Jacob.
Does he have an additional land, though, to activate his sneak attack right on schedule? Is what I'm wondering. Because if he doesn't...
Does he have Grizzlebrand?
No, he has Emrakul.
So
he won't even kill... Oh, yeah, he does. Okay, he does. So Jesse's board is going to disappear.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's always perfect. You always have the perfect number of permanents.
Slap comes Emrakul.
Alright, so Deathrite can at least eat something out of the graveyard. Probably the Pyroclasm.
The perfect 6 as well.
That's what I was saying. It's always an eye out of 6. So Jesse wisely taking the Pyroclasm so he can't be shuffled back in from the Emrakul.
Yeah.
And listen, if you haven't seen Harry Corvasi versus Milton Figueroa on YouTube, this is a match where the Jund opponent is Blood Moon 3 times, gets sneak attacked by an Emrakul, and wins the match.
I would like to see this.
That would be the dream come true for the Cinderella man, Jesse Dent.
Cinderella man.
Oh, perfect.
On a horse.
And a Blood Moon.
Ah.
It's actually just like the thing.
Ghost Quarter.
Mountain.
I'm not even... Oh, okay.
Okay, so there's another sneak attack.
All right. Off to game 3. Right, so I think... with... I don't know, with Jesse on the play, it's certainly going to be a bit of a different story.
Yeah.
Now, because...
I think. Look, Jacob had it all that game. He'd force a will for any interaction, Pyroclasm for the other interaction, and fast combos.
Yeah.
There's not much more. While Jesse mulligan to 6 and sort of with these decks without Ponder and Brainstorm, it's hard to unmulligan or sculpt your hand.
Yeah. He ended up with the kind of all dorks hand.
Yeah.
Which Maverick often does. So
it's strength and weakness of the deck.
Yeah.
I don't know about the choke though, Sean.
Me too.
I'm
a bit
I'm reticent on that one.
I'm a bit on it as well.
It's the wrong way to attack the matchup. Like,
Yeah.
I suppose if you do get to choke him out, it's fun.
Yeah, but sometimes it'll just rot in your hand.
You need to beat the combo first and then do that.
Yeah.
And perhaps we should just focus on beating the combo and putting him away
I
because
guess
it's another non-creature spell that doesn't attack.
Yeah, correct. I think I would like Surgical somewhere as well, because it really, especially imagine you can Thought Seize away Sneak Attack, Surgical that away.
Or imagine even in that scenario, if Jesse, I mean, I know this is ridiculous, but if he had Surgical, he could have Surgical to Emrakul, taken them all out of his deck and left him just to draw one
Grizzlebrand.
the Grizzlebrands.
Yeah.
How many Grizzlebrands is he playing? 4? Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's 4 Grizzlebrand, 3 Emrakul. Alright, so Jesse's shuffled up and ready. good game so far. On to the finals.
Onto the final game of this match.
Come on, Jesse. Still not biased. Look, how can you root against, the
Maverick?
young buck who's worked... See, Jesse's quite new to Legacy.
He is. He's only been playing for...
He's had to borrow cards to get here, and he's been building this deck for some time,
Yeah, he loves a Maverick. He loves a Maverick. All right.
and rewarded for doing so as well.
Right, interesting hand from Jesse. He's got a turn 1 bird.
And he's got a Green Sun Zenith, which doesn't get much.
I'm guessing it's going to get Gadok Teague.
And Jacob, I believe, has a Force Wheel and Pyroclasm again.
But he also has a Thoughtseize. Jesse does as well. So he has a
There
bit
we
of
go.
interaction.
That's what I want to hear. Okay. So another Force Wheel.
I mean, the Force Wheels are fine.
He didn't have one, but now he does. I would just like Jesse to be able to resolve an important spell, though. That's all.
I guess that's what these kind of decks, like compared to Death and Taxes, is a bit of an issue, because Death and Taxes, of course, has Ether Vial, which always eats a Force of Will, but it lets you kind of clean up afterwards.
Get that Isle 4 going. Okay, so Jesse's a little bit constrained on mana.
Right, so he's going for the Thoughtseize.
No, he's not. He's not constrained mana at all. What am I talking about? He's got Bird of Paradise.
Good old pop.
See, a 0-1. Okay,
Right, 2 sneak attacks.
tremendous.
So I think we're taking the Gristlebrand here, and then going for a Gadok Teague on the sneak. This is actually, I think, turns out pretty well if Jesse crafts this carefully. Yep, excellent.
Absolute
Good
champion.
stuff. So he has the Force of Will. All right, so we really have to gamble that he doesn't...
He
maybe
needs to draw, well, no, he's got the mana requirements, but for now, there's no blue card.
You know what I think I would have liked to do here? We should have Thoughtseized away the Force of Will, then next turn Green Sun Zenith the Gadok Teague to turn off all the sneak attacks, and it also turns off the Gristlebrand.
Yeah, but it runs a risk of a Soul Lander, which he plays
A Soul Land, and it also makes Show and Tell live.
a 5, yeah.
Yeah. And so I think Jesse has a second Zenith as well. Yeah.
I like to rib on Show and Tell because it's A and B, and I don't, so that's an Omniscience drawn, which is wonderful. At least it turns on his Force Will.
It doesn't go very well with the sneak attack.
My age-old analogy is if you went to a Chinese restaurant, you ordered combination fried rice and got rice and bean, would that be a combination? A and B a combo does not make. It just makes a good synergy. So if you can strip away the rice or the bean, you're left with just rice or bean. It's no longer a combination. And
What even is this?
Oh my God.
Prelate. All right. This is all right. We're getting somewhere now.
So we can put that on 4.
So we can
Jacob lovingly offering Jesse a drink.
I'm going to have some iced tea as well. All right, so Gadok Teague or Sanctum Prelate will really do the job well here.
We could possibly lock it up if things go to plan, although there is a Force Will, so let's not get too carried away.
So I think Sanctum Prelate. But notice that
Jesse takes one
Jacob's
off
not
the-
doing much. He only has a sneak attack.
All right,
so Zenith
Green
for
Sun
2.
Zenith.
And I think this is immediately biting a Force of Will. So I said, I think this is where I would have liked to maybe Thoughtseize away the Force of Will, and then... All right,
It just runs the
if
risk
this
of things
resolves,
going wrong.
Jacob, I don't know. Jacob really needs to Force of Will this.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay. All right, good.
Didn't want to because he's now dead for everything else, but that's okay. So we can just hold up Deathrite Charm and take for 2. The coast is a little bit clear. I mean, the sneak attack is coming now, though.
Yeah. Well, not...
Because he's got the Simian Spirit Guide.
yeah, he does.
However,
What else is that in his hand?
maybe he doesn't want to go all in too early. Although I suppose he probably
No,
does.
I think he should.
The correct play with no information is probably slam it, but...
Because, yeah, if he gets prelated,
Yeah.
he's going to look very,
Well, he's
very
probably
silly.
thinking, well, the sneak attack's safe, I've protected it from 1 hate ban. There we go, he
Yeah.
passes the turn.
Yep.
Oh, he doesn't, he just makes a hand motion that looks like it. Alright, so Jacob double fetches down to 17. We just need a clock from Jesse, though. The 2 J's are really tripping me out, I gotta say.
Jesse and Jacob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Bob or Tien, just Jesse and Jacob.
Yeah, once the sneak attack's on the table, I imagine the prelate's just going to name something else.
Well, there is a Reclamation Sage to draw to. I'd love a Sylvan Library from Jesse. That would be great.
Yeah, so... See, this is the problem now.
Okay. So drain for 2. Now,
So this is a big problem now. So I think ideally, what we need to do is play prelate on 1, shut off all his cantrips.
Yep.
And so
100%.
that he's just drawing off the top for a monster.
Right, so
Second
Sanctum
prelate.
Fantastic.
Second prelate. So this is really...
Onto 1 and onto 3 and hope for the best.
Yeah, but this is... You just can't do anything about a fatty appearing. So that's the big issue. I would have really...
Yeah, fantastic from Jesse. I totally would have missed that. Absolutely.
Missed what?
Putting it on 1. I
Yeah.
thought that was a fantastic one you came up with.
Yeah.
But again, that's why I'm in the booth and not playing.
All right,
So
so
draws
gets
a
rewarded,
brainstorm.
draws a brainstorm. So
I mean, this
we just need to fade a lot of draw steps. Is
this
what we need
Dork
to do.
Brigade has to.
This Dork Brigade has to do a lot of work.
I mean, so we're attacking for 3.
I think it's a pretty fast
No,
clock
we've got-
though. It's
essentially 5 a turn.
yeah, it's 5 a turn. So something can happen here. Like we can get the ball rolling.
Really would love to see Reclamation Sage.
Yeah, so would I. Again, it doesn't do much since there's what's happening here.
So Jacob pointing at something. So we
Alright.
see a land.
So I think
Maybe we'll pop the Horizon Canopy.
yeah, I like popping the Horizon Canopy. I also like wastelanding the
Yeah,
red
the
source at some stage.
Oh, that is. I did not realize. Is he constrained on red mana, or does he have another land in his hand?
I don't know. I would like to hope he's constrained on red mana.
Again, this is totally unbiased commentary.
But I think I'm sure Jesse will see that.
All right.
Yeah, I imagine we're going to see a cycle of the... Oh, or he might just play off the... Yeah, excellent. So shorts off the red mana, and I think he plays another prelate. All right, what's he going to name here? 3, I'm
I
imagining.
think so.
Oh,
Well, he could put it on 2 though.
yeah, I would like 2 on Pyroclasm,
It does it on
actually.
3. So get in there, Dork Brigade beatdown.
Dork Brigade beatdown.
All right. So is that a Green Sun Zenith? Oh, it got counted. Sure. Okay.
Oh, this Emrakul.
And a red. Well,
So looks like Jesse's on 14.
can he gain life? There's a Grizzlebrand in the bin, right?
Yeah, there is.
And Jesse stretches his arms back. God, I had it.
Yeah.
I tried so hard, but in the end, it didn't even matter.
Yeah. So there is a Grizzlebrand in the bin.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I think you...
He misses the
You
line.
missed the line. You missed the line, yeah. That's unfortunate.
Unless there isn't the Grizzlebrand anymore, and it's
No, I think there's a Grizzlebrand in the bin.
probably wouldn't have mattered. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
let's be honest, yeah. But anyway, is what it is.
Yeah, no help coming. Although the Caracas, I suppose, would have
Carcass
helped
would have helped. Yeah.
big time.
So, yeah, kids, don't scoop it up too early, I guess.
Yeah.
Is the moral of the story. I mean, it's easy for us to see
Yeah,
when
of
you're
course.
in the booth.
Cool,
so-
calm, and collected. Didn't
Yeah.
make top 8.
Yeah.
Masters of the armchairs.
Yeah. But yeah, really unfortunate.
And we should probably point out that despite the bias, that Jacob did play that Navigator.
Oh,
very
definitely.
well.
I think especially like knowing when to slam that sneak attack.
Yeah.
Right on schedule and so on. So I think especially game 2,
Yeah.
he had all the tools to really get there.
All right, so we'll wrap it up there. Thanks everyone for joining us. We'll see you all for the
We'll be in the
semi-finals.
finals.
We'll be in the finals.
commentating
There'll be
the
another
finals.
group for the semis.
Yeah.
So see you then.
Anyway.